Have you always wondered how to use the popular platform Hudhomestore? Let's face it, sometimes buying HUD properties can be a confusing process. It takes a good understanding on what you need to know in order to successfully buy a HUD property. We will be discussing briefly a few tips to help you when you are trying to buy a HUD property.Search for HUD properties. Go to the homepage for HUD Homes. This would be hudhomestore.com. Make sure you type that in correctly if you want to look at HUD Homes. If you misspell it a little bit, you might go to a different website which pretends to be HUD but is not, and might try and give you a nasty virus or something on your computer. When you are there on the site, there are a few ways to search for HUD Homes. You can click on the state and see any HUD home for sale in your particular state. Note, quite a few will pop up. Or you can search properties. That's the only field that you have to enter, is the state. And then you can enter any one of these fields to narrow down your search a little bit. Click search and you will see the results. Whatever the results are in your area is what is in the HUD inventory. So what that means is they are on the market and you're able to place a bid. They do not have a contract on them. As soon as HUD receives an acceptable bid, they will take the property off the market or do a price change, or for some other reason, they might pull it off Hudhomestore. To learn more information on the property, click case number. So if you want more information on this particular property, click on the case number and it will pull up this page, which will show you more information on the property. Breakdown of the bidding periods. A few things to know about HUD: they have different bidding periods for different buyers. So if you are an investor, you cannot bid on HUD homes right away. There's a few differences on the bidding periods. First bidding period is the FHA insured bid period. If you look closely, you will see insured with escrow. That means it is FHA insured. There is a 10-day initial bid period where HUD collects all the bids and they will accept one at the end of those 10 days if it meets their guidelines. And there's a 15-day owner-occupant only bid period. So for the first 15 days, only owner-occupants can bid, unless you're a non-profit or a government agency. You can see who is eligible to bid, and you can also see circled the IE showing insured escrow. You can see in the example who is eligible to place a bid. Now you want to know when the bid submission deadline is. This would be for the initial 10-day bid period on this property. It'll tell you date and the time remaining to submit your bid. Once the time run out, the bid submission deadline is over. So HUD takes all the bids they get and review them all at once during this time period. Then on the next business day they will accept one of the bids if it meets their guidelines. So they have certain guidelines, certain dollar amounts those bids have to meet. And HUD only cares about the net price to them. They don't care if it's cash, if it's financed. It could be a $203K full-blown rehab loan versus a cash deal. An of the $203K loan is $1 more net to HUD than the cash deal. They will take that $203K loan. So there's no advantage to doing cash or a loan with HUD. If this is FHA uninsurable, the bidding period would be different. There would be a 5-day initial bid period for owner-occupants and a 5-day sealed bid period when they collect bids. So HUD would take all the bids they get in those 5 days, look at them on the next business day, and accept one at that time if it met their requirements. On the 6th day, investors could submit bids with an FHA non-insurable. It'll say under the listing information if it is insured or not. On the houses that are insured, it's the 16th day after it has been actively for sale that investors can bid. Now again, I said actively because if this home goes under contract, say on the 11th day, as soon as it goes under contract, the active days on market stops according to HUD. For example, if it goes under contract on the 11th day and the buyers cancel their contract 2 weeks later because they found something wrong with the home, it would come back on the market as it was only for sale for 11 days. And investors still could not bid because it has to be on the market 15 days actively until they can. If you are an investor, you are looking for UI meaning uninsured. For investors to know when they can bid, you want to look at the period deadline. This is the last day owner-occupants can bid till the next day. Now if you try to bid on it before then, the HUD system will not let you do it. Let's talk a little bit about bidding. If you want to bid on a HUD home, you have to have a real estate agent submit a bid for you. Buyers cannot submit them directly. That real estate agent has to be registered with HUD. Your broker agent has to be registered. They have to have what is called an NAID number, or their office does, and then individual agent has to register on the HUD website, which they can do right up here very easily, takes about 5 minutes. And they can register on the site. You must have a realtor to place your bid. If you're not working with anyone, contact me. It's free, it doesn't cost anything, but you have to apply with them. There's no way around that. Once you have your agent who can bid on a HUD home for you, all bids are submitted online. Technically, you don't have to sign any contracts, provide a prequal letter, or earnest money to bid on a HUD home. However, it is highly suggested that you have your earnest money and your prequal letter ready to go, because if your bid is accepted, you'll have 48 hours to get it to HUD. And that's a real copy, not emailed, but physically delivered to HUD. In some cases, you may have to overnight it to a different state because the HUD asset manager may be located in Texas and you could be in California. So if you don't have your prequal letter or your proof of funds letter ready to go, you could have your bid cancelled if you don't get the package in on time to HUD. Again, your real estate agent can help you submit that package to HUD. They will assist with that process, but you need to have your prequal letter, your proof of funds, ready to go. And then you've got to have certified funds for the earnest money. That means you can't write a personal check. You've got to have a certified check, a money order, something that proves you've got the money. And that also has to be sent either to HUD or the listing agent's office, depending on the asset manager who's listing the house. Again, your real estate agent can help with that once your bid's accepted. You need to make sure you have certified funds available and the prequal letter or proof of funds letter. Now, how much will HUD accept? Well, that depends on the market you're in. If you would like to view more of this article, click the link in the description. Feel free to hit that subscribe button and click like if you liked this video.